that fans they're voting with their money, their pocketbooks right now. That they're not entertained by this brand of basketball. Sophie Cunningham, guys, she was the light of our life tonight. She went absolutely berserk, particularly in the fourth quarter. I do want to bring this up.
No one saw this coming. Not the coaches, not the analysts, and certainly not the people who spent months insisting that Caitlin Clark's style of play would never succeed in the WNBA. Yet here we are, watching a completely different story unfold. The Indiana Fever are winning. Caitlin Clark has delivered another dominant performance. She was named Player of the Week, and suddenly many of the voices that questioned her every move have gone silent. But that's not even the most surprising part. The real shock came after the game. While fans were celebrating another Fever victory, social media began focusing on something unusual. Something that instantly shifted the entire conversation. For months, the debate remained the same. Was Caitlin Clark the problem, or was the system around her holding her back? No one seemed to agree. Every game sparked a new argument, every argument generated a new headline, and every headline fueled another controversy. Then came a performance that nobody could dismiss.
The best player in the league, the best point guard in the league, hands down, it ain't close, it ain't nothing to talk about. Caitlin Clark with another double-double, 21 points, 14 assists, as she did her part to secure a victory for the Indiana Fever. She also contributed 5 rebounds, but the shooting was awful. And I'm going to be real, Caitlin, mama, I need you to make shots. I need you to make shots. Caitlin Clark didn't hit her first 3 until late in the fourth quarter. She was 1 of 8 from 3, 5 of 15 from the floor. Okay, off shooting nights happen. She shot nearly 50% last week, nearly 40% from 3, while she became Player of the Week. But hey, man, we got high expectations. I need Cece to make shots. But this was
Caitlin Clark finished with 21 points and 14 assists, playing a major role in securing another victory for the Indiana Fever. She also added 5 rebounds to her stat line. While her overall impact was undeniable, her shooting night was far from her best. To be honest, Clark struggled to find her rhythm from deep, not making her first three-pointer until late in the fourth quarter. She finished just 1 of 8 from beyond the arc and 5 of 15 from the field. Of course, off-shooting nights happen. Just a week earlier, she was shooting nearly 50% from the floor and close to 40% from three-point range on her way to earning Player of the Week honors. Expectations are high when it comes to Clark, and fans always want to see her knocking down shots. Even so, this was still an impressive performance. Clark's 21 points and 14 assists gave her complete control of the game, the kind of performance that makes people stop debating and start paying attention. That's when everything changed, because this wasn't just another win or another impressive stat line. It was proof that the version of the Fever fans had been waiting to see might finally be emerging. Supporters believe that once Clark began playing with freedom and confidence, the entire offense transformed. The pace looked sharper, the confidence looked stronger, and the results spoke for themselves. Suddenly, the same team that appeared stuck just weeks ago started looking like a genuine threat, and a very dangerous one at that.
The lights out from 3. She shot the lights out from 3 in this game, and this is how last year started, when Sophie Cunningham went on about a 6-week tear that absolutely contributed to this team somehow, some way making the playoffs last year. It was Sophie Cunningham. If you go back and look at her three-point shooting last year for about 6 weeks, she went bananas. Well, it looks like we're starting that all over again. By the way, let's just keep it real. I brought it up during this game. I posted it early on. Until Sophie went absolutely bananas with three-pointers tonight, this crowd was dead. This crowd was not fired up in the least bit. Here we go. Caitlin Clark right here, splitting the D. Let's check it out. Let's check it out right there to Monique Billings. And look, Caitlin Clark had 14 assists tonight. You know, at one point I thought Caitlin Clark had a chance to get 20 assists tonight. No kidding. Can we have an uncomfortable conversation about the fact that it's time for Sophie to start over Lexi Hull? There, I said it. I said it out loud. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but I said it. Sophie Cunningham. Let's check it. Let's check it right here. Caitlin out to Sophie. One side step. Boom. Knocked it down. Beautiful. And she would just keep knocking them down. Let's go.
On the layup. Fever with
Caitlin again to Sophie. Boom. Knocked it down again. Sophie was on a tear.
That's where Sophie Cunningham entered the conversation, because every winning streak builds confidence, and confidence has a way of changing everything. Fans quickly began discussing the energy surrounding the team, the growing chemistry, the trust between players, and the belief that was becoming visible on the court. Many started wondering whether the Fever were finally developing into the team everyone expected to see before the season began. Meanwhile, another name started appearing more frequently in discussions: Amber Cox. After all, executives pay attention to winning. They notice momentum, and they certainly notice when one player appears to change the direction of an entire franchise. That's why fans became focused on one important question: how much of this success is actually connected to Caitlin Clark's style of basketball? According to supporters, the answer is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The Fever are winning, the offense is thriving, and the crowd is more engaged than ever.
Fever team misses entirely too many layups. Caitlin Clark could have had 20 assists today if people made layups. Aaliyah Boston smoked the layup. Lexi Hall smoked the layup. Sophie Cunningham smoking layups. I mean, people smoking layups. Michaela Timpson smoking layups. Like, the layup thing is getting very, very ridiculous. Straight up, it's getting very, very ridiculous, man. We got to get into Sophie Cunningham. Blonde Bomber. Sophie Cunningham is still on fire from Connecticut, guys. Sophie Cunningham got on a heater in Connecticut, went on an 11-0 run to close out the Connecticut Sun, and she stayed on that heater today off the bench in 24 minutes. Sophie Cunningham was 8 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 7 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. She had 6 rebounds and poured in 24 points off the bench. Sophie was on fire. She didn't miss her first shot until like damn near fourth quarter. Sophie Cunningham was on fire. Defense on point, making every three damn near. Sophie Cunningham is definitely providing that spark, and that punch off the bench offensively that the Indiana Fever need. Because let's be real, Raven Johnson can't score off the bench. Maisha Hines-Allen isn't a scorer off the bench. Michaela Timpson can't score off the bench. We don't have no bench scoring. So it's like, if Sophie Cunningham does not score for us off the bench, we're not getting points off the bench, guys. That's just the reality of the situation with this Indiana Fever roster. Now, Maisha Hines-Allen went out. She got hit in the face. Blood was everywhere. I thought the refs was absolute garbage. They was dog crap in this game. Maisha Hines-Allen gets hit in the face. Blood everywhere. No whistle. Caitlin Clark getting hit. First 3 drives of the game. No fouls, no whistles. The refs, I thought y'all was supposed to be better. I thought y'all was supposed to call more fouls, bro. This is kind of crazy. The refs was trash. Caitlin Clark is getting fouled nonstop. You know, Caitlin Clark, you got to make your free throws. You missed 4 free throws today. I don't know what happened. But that does not need to happen again. But the Indiana Fever took care of business. Marina Mabry did try to go on a flurry.
The numbers are improving, and the conversation surrounding the team is changing rapidly. The most intimidating part, according to many fans, is that this may only be the beginning. If Caitlin Clark is already delivering performances like this, what happens when the chemistry within the team becomes even stronger? What happens when the offense operates with even greater rhythm and efficiency? What happens when the confidence continues to grow? Those are the questions that have rival fan bases paying close attention right now. It's not just about what Caitlin Clark is accomplishing today. It's about what she could accomplish next. Because if this version of the Indiana Fever is the real deal, the rest of the league could be facing a serious challenge. Many supporters believe that's exactly why so many people seem surprised. Not because Clark is succeeding, but because she's succeeding in the exact way critics insisted she never could. And that's what makes this story impossible to ignore.